I wanted to go over the common mistakes that a lot of people make when they first get to maps and have a look at their atlas and start to fill it out. There's a lot of common traps that a lot of people fall into, and I wanted to go over them so people don't make the same mistakes in 3.29 when it comes out. So, what a lot of people do is once they get to maps and they see their atlas, they pick a mechanic that they like and they rush to that mechanic, whatever that would be, whether that is to do with breach, legion, rituals, expedition, whatever it is, harvest. They just rush to those notes as soon as they get the atlas unlocked, which is not efficient in the slightest. Because when you first get your atlas, what you want to do is you want to complete the maps as fast as you can to get all the points for it. So what I like to do at the start of every league is I like to rush for unwavering vision, ignoring everything else on the tree and just going straight for this. This is really good, and a lot of people don't talk about it because I think it gives a lot of benefits for completing your atlas quick, because an extra 20 points is quite a lot, and considering scarabs are not worth anything really in the first day to 2 days, 3 days, it's really, really good to help you fill out the atlas. So after you rush up here and get this note, what do you put your 20 points into? You would go back down and put those 20 points back into map drops or map sustain. Those are the most important for filling out your atlas. So after you get unwavering vision, fill out all the points for extra map gains. So shaping the mountains, shaping the skies, fill those out, every single one of them. Get all the extra map effect or the map chance drop that you can get, and don't worry about anything else. Because as I said, the most important thing about when you start off a new league and a new atlas is to fill out the atlas as fast as you can. Because the faster you can fill it out, the more you can start to focus on making currency afterwards. Once you have all the extra chance for maps to drop, then you can go into a league mechanic that you like or that's quick while mapping. So a mechanic while mapping to get the benefit out of this and completing your atlas at the same time is going to be stuff like strong boxes. Strong boxes are super quick. You click them, you kill the mobs, you pick up the loot, and you run. Shrines, shrines, and map chance drop are really, really strong early on because you can pick up so much shrine stuff because the shrine notes down at the start. There's shrine notes up here when you are pathing. So there's shrines in the middle, there's shrines at the top. This could change, the positioning of these could change in 3.29, but the basic principle is still going to be the exact same. One thing I think that a lot of people have a worry about is when they pick up unwavering vision, they think just because scarabs are not dropping that they're not getting good currency in return because some scarabs are worth a lot. But again, as I said, scarabs are not worth pretty much anything in the first day or two until a lot of people get into maps, until farming strategies become popular by other videos. Then you will see the price of scarabs go up. Some of the scarabs will be pricey, as they usually are. The most common ones that people are using will be still worth a lot. But again, they will not be worth what they will be worth in a couple of days versus day one or day two. So if you're able to get up here as fast as you can, you definitely should. And then afterwards, then you can pick a mechanic that you want to farm. It's definitely the best way to do it. It is definitely the most efficient way because of the extra 20 points that you get. It's basically an extra 20 maps that you've completed by clicking one note. And then notes leading up to it are also not bad. You get quantity, you get map effect, you get a bunch of good stuff that will help you. This is the quickest way to go from T1 to T15, T16 maps is by taking that node, then picking up all the map chance effect, which ends up scaling off itself because the more you get, the more better it is. Also, another question that I see a lot of people asking when I'm playing in game is when should you pick your second and third atlas points? When should you start speccing into them? Should you do it as soon as you unlock them at 50 completion or at 100 completion? I don't use my second and third atlas until I have pretty much all of the points into it because I don't want to waste those points on anything that's not going to be fully efficient straight away as soon as I can get it. So there is no point, in my opinion, to use the second or third atlas until you have the majority of the atlas points unlocked in the first place. Now, if you don't want to do that, you of course can go and use them, farm your currency, do it that way. it would just be a lot slower than if you just focus purely on your first atlas to have as much map chance drop effect and maps in general. Everything else kind of comes second until your atlas is done. A lot of people don't put enough value on how much a full atlas actually gives you in maps. So if you're mapping and say you're running normal maps, you're putting points into whatever you want, some people will start complaining that they're not getting enough currency, they're not getting enough maps, they're not sustaining, they're not making enough profit. And that's kind of the whole point, is because they're not able to sustain the higher tier maps or even get to those higher tier maps, they're not going to be making the same amount of currency. Because the amount of currency that you make from running T1 maps or anything under T15 maps, T16 maps, is going to be nowhere near as much as you're going to get if you were running the high-end maps. Another thing that a lot of people get caught up in is when they're clearing the maps, say from T1 to T15, they get caught up in trying to complete all of the maps that are in the section. There is really no need to do that. So for example, to clear out all the T3s, all the T4s, all the T5s, you can do it like that. You can do them one by one in the tier itself, or you could progress them as fast as you can up to the T16s. Because if you complete a T16 that's meant to be a T5, a T whatever map, you will still get the benefit of the Atlas points once you complete it. And I think a lot of people kind of fall into that trap where, oh, I need to complete all the maps in T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, and so on. But there is really no need for it because, again, that slows your progression down. The quicker you're able to get into T16 maps, the better everything is going to be. The more experiences you're going to get, the more loot that's going to drop, as I mentioned. Everything just becomes so much better at T16s. So in essence, filling out all of these one by one, there's nothing wrong with that. It is slower than going from, say, tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3. Again, that does depend on map drop, so that's why a lot of people do it, completing them by tiers. But if you're able to boost your map drop chance from the Atlas, like I mentioned, by following the path, that is the best way for it. In the next example, I'm going to show you what my Atlas plan is going to be and how I'm going to pick the notes for the Atlas in 3.29 coming up. What you see now in front of you, this is the fastest way to get up to unwavering vision. As I said, this is 19 points in total, so 19 maps, incredibly easy to do. This is the fastest way. There is no other way to get there that's going to be faster. And what we do is, after we get these 20 points, what do we spend them on? As I said, we're going to be spending them on map chance effect. So we pick that up, we pick up the gateway to go to the other side, and then we come down, pick up more map chance, get as much of that as you can all over the place. Yeah, after you've picked up all of the notables that are there for the map sustain and map chance, next thing that we're going to look into is all the small nodes, which are also just as important. You want to pick these up afterwards, after you get all your chance effect. Then you're going to want to pick up the small nodes for more maps found in your maps. Pick up all of them. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how bad the tree looks. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Pick up every single one of these small nodes that you can get. After that, or during it if you wanted to keep your maps going faster, you pick up the shrine effects or the shrines to spawn in your maps. You pick up all of them because we're pretty much beside all the points for the shrines anyway, as you can see. We pick up the ones down below here. Then we go up into the top, pick up all of these as well. And then again, more shrines up here. After the shrines are done and we have as much map chance and map drops in our maps as we can, what do we go for? A simple thing, again, that's going to make our maps really quick is going to be boxes. We have boxes up here that we can pick up those boxes. We have boxes down here. All of these are all connected where we path from. They're super quick and easy to pick up. We don't have to go out of our way at all. We can come down here into this. We can pick up this map chance or this boxes as well if we wanted to. Then after those are kind of done, then after all this is done, you can go into whatever league mechanic you want to farm. Start doing that slowly and add the points into it. But again, the most important part is that we pick up all of the map chance effect, all the map chance to drop in maps. That is what really makes our progression skyrocket and will definitely help you fill out your atlas a lot faster than if you didn't do it this way. I think it is very, very important that people put a lot of focus on this as a start rather than any of the mechanics that are there. That was kind of just a quick rundown of the best way to progress the Atlas early on, in my opinion. If there's any questions down below, let me know. If there is anything that I missed that you guys want to know, just ask and I'll get back to you.